another talk show. Yeah, here we go. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Music Industry Makeover. How you doing? I'm with yours truly, DJ Ronnie Ron, and Miss Simone Henry of Eshe Music. What's going on, Simone?
I'm good. How about you?
Great, blessed. God is good. Yes, and we have some special guests with us, Rico Brown. I keep thinking Brown. I mean Rico Gibson. Hey, hopefully y'all can see his picture because some folks can only just see his eyebrows or whatever. But hey, what's going on, Rico? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm glad to be on the show again.
All right.
Glad to be here with everybody, man.
Amen. Glad to have you. And also we have a special guest. So first time on here. I've known her for years, and a woman of integrity in the industry, Miss Coco Diggs, Carol Coco Diggs. How you doing, Coco?
I'm doing good. Excited to be here tonight.
Yes, we're excited to have you. And she's going to be giving us a wealth of knowledge because she's been in marketing for a while, helping independent artists. And she's going to tell what she does and things like that. But I want to say this program is being sponsored by the Fellowship Gospel Lounge, happening June 14th. All right. What's going on, Jesus Beats? How you doing, Vernon Kemp? All right. And yes, it's happening June 14th in Hampton, Virginia. It's a Christian social club, dancing, food, live entertainment, socializing, fellowship. That's what we're doing. All right. So if you want more information, contact me if you've seen the commercial on Facebook and things like that, because we are trying to create platforms for Christians to have a great time. So, all right. So, yes, the fellowship. And hey, there might be a fellowship in your neck of the woods. Okay. All right. So, yes, God is good here on this beautiful Memorial Day weekend. Pretty much we're going into it. And we just want to remember our soldiers and those who have fought and died, and also those who are currently serving. Like we want to definitely thank those who have retired as well. Like my man Jesus Beats, Vernon Kemp. Thank God for your service, sir. Former Marine.
So fun.
Yeah. Hey, what should I say? What Gomer Powell? No. Nah. Yes, but this is the Music Industry Makeover, and we talk about marketing and promotions. We may talk about other subjects, but we'd like to tie it into marketing and promotions. Okay. And so, as I said, our special guest that we have, Carol Coco Diggs. Well, hey, look, I'm just gonna call you Coco because that's what I know you by. And but why don't you tell the people what it is that you do and how long you've been in the business and things like that?
Okay. Well, as Ron mentioned, my name is Coco, and I'm out of the Raleigh-Durham area here in North Carolina.
Right.
My company is Sapphire Entertainment and Media Management. So that's where the media part comes in. And we do that part of marketing and promotion as far as getting artists out there, but also there's another sector as well where I like to teach. So I enjoy doing consultations and teaching people about internet marketing and different ways to take their craft and their music and be able to monetize it or be able to actually make some money doing what they love to do. So that's definitely, that's definitely one of the things that I thoroughly enjoy doing. And it's definitely been, I think the company altogether came alive in 1996, the big bang.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was birthed then. But just like any other company over time, things started changing. So we evolved with the times and are finding that, as the internet changes, there's so many not only paid platforms, but there's free platforms as well. So all of those tips and things, if you're open to learning, then I'm open to sharing. That's just where we are right now as far as working with artists and things. But you got to be ready to do the work.
Amen.
Do the work. Amen.
Because I'm going to work. So I expect you to work too. So,
Amen. Yes.
That work, that piece of it.
Awesome. Yes. Hey, media management. Hey, and a lot of y'all definitely need some media management. So, because it's all about learning. But as she said, she's going to put in the work. She expects you to put in the work as well too. Awesome, Coco. All right, hey Rico, go ahead and tell the folks what it is that you do as well.
So what's going on, everybody? So I'm Rico Gibson, producer, engineer, artist manager. Of course, for occupation, I'm an insurance agent, so I do insurance for a living too. So I want to be able to see the kingdom grow, and I'm here to share information. Hey, learn. I always learn too every time I'm on the show because we always have guests on and everybody shares. So we hope that everybody can get something, glean something from the show. That's why we're doing it. So we're just here to be a blessing to you.
Amen. Awesome. And we're going to give you information at the end and things. So again, guys, we're here. This is the Music Industry Makeover. So spread the word. Hey, Mary, how you doing? Welcome. Thanks, one of our faithful viewers and things. And so we're going to talk about redefining success. Okay. All right. Redefining success. And so, Simone, you go ahead and start it off or so, because this is interesting here.
Okay, well, I am going to talk about a conference I was at one day. And this gentleman stood up and asked the panel a question. And the question was, how do I get on radio? He's a hip hop artist. He's in it. He's part of a group. And, he was asking the panel, how do I get on radio? I want to be on radio. And so they turned around, they asked him some questions, and they asked him, well, what's going on right now? What's happening with your ministry? And he was saying, well, we're going out every week and we're performing here and there, and we're getting calls to go and perform at these different places. And there's a lot of people coming out, and, and we're selling our music, we're selling our CDs and stuff. And so everybody was kind of confused. They were like, so why? It sounds like you're doing all right. Why do you want to be on radio? And they said, I want to be able to get in my car, turn on the radio, and hear my song come on.
Okay.
And
really?
So it sounded like for him, it was the epitome of success for him was being able to be in the car and hearing his song come on the radio.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
No matter about all of this other stuff that was going on, things were going well. He's got lots of, his show is playing. I guess his music is playing on internet stations and whatnot. He's got lots of fans and people are coming out to his shows. He's selling music and all of this, but he felt like he wasn't successful unless he was on radio.
Right. Man. Ooh. Okay.
Wow.
But
that's
the only one. There's a lot of artists out there who feel the same way.
But it's so much to that, and I think you should have a measure of success even before you get on radio.
Right.
But that word success, man, it's so broad simply because it's different for every person.
That's true.
And I think as an artist,
exactly right.
As an artist, you have to, or no matter if you're an artist or no matter where you are in your life, period, you have to define success for yourself, because success for me may not be success for you. Success for you may not be success for me. So I think the problem comes in when we're trying to blanket success. We're trying to put success in a bottle, package that bottle, and say, if you don't have this structure, or if you don't have all these ingredients like this in this order, then you don't have success. And so I think that's really good, because in his mind, to me, if you got shows, you selling music, people are inviting you, so that means you got your brand, people knowing your brand, so they're inviting you to come out. Like that, it's hard to get that as an artist.
Yes, it is.
You may not even, radio may just be a cursor or precursor to, or another component to catapult your ministry. But so the success is important. You have to define your definition of success. It could be different for every person. So.
That's exactly right. I'm sure there were other artists in the room who were looking at him going, man, I wish I had what you had.
Right.
I wish I had music coming in, money coming in from selling music. I wish I had all the shows and all the excitement around your ministry that you have, and you still want this other thing that's just very elusive.
Right.
But Rico, I totally agree with what you just said. in the sense of that it's different for everybody. Because I'm sure that once he actually hears that song on the radio, guess what? Check mark. He's already accomplished that piece. So now he can move on to the next thing that he defines as success. And he's
Right.
more motivated and excited because he's achieved that main thing that he wanted to happen. Some of us have been, over the years, or say, for instance, as a child, he may have wanted to be a singer since he was 5. And now he
Right.
finally gets the opportunity to hear stuff on the radio.
And and I even go farther to say, now this may step on somebody's toes, but hey, that's why we're on the show, right?
Right.
To kind of, because we kind of dispel myths.
Right.
You really don't need land radio, to be successful.
No, you don't.
Speak the truth.
Because we're in a different age, right? You got to be a social media guru, i.e., you hire marketing people. You have marketing people here, Simone, Ronald, Coco. You hire a marketing team to promote you via social media. I'm actually a part of a company called First Coast Social. Social media is where you go. Now, if you want to look at radio, you really put time into doing internet radio. Because guess what? It's not going to cost you as much money. It's not as much politics, right? You got an opportunity to establish real relationships. You can call Ronald, like Ronald right here is a station owner. Like if you inbox Ronald, he will talk to you, right? You don't have to go through 20 people to get a sit down with a station manager.
Right.
So true.
So
what's up, Smoke?
So it's so easy for you if you do internet radio, and you can even with internet radio, it'll tell you when you go on, kind of like they kind of give you like an overview of the station to where you know how many listeners that station may have, and you find the stations. I'm giving somebody a nugget now. You better write this down. I'm gonna give you the
Go
game.
ahead.
You find stations that have 1,000 people or less. Stations that have 1,000 listeners or less, they're looking to grow. Right?
This is true.
You can benefit them just as much as they can benefit you. Right?
Now you talk.
And if you got 1,000 people on that listeners on that station, you think terms of volume, right?
Right.
It's not about you trying, because it's going to be harder for you to get onto an internet radio that has 200,000 listeners because they probably get donations, all kind of stuff. It's going to maybe a little politics, but if you look for stations that have 1,000 listeners or less, go break bread with the station managers, do drops for them. Right? That's how I met Ron. That's how I met Ron.
Oh, yeah.
I did drops from another group that I was doing some stuff with. And if you go get 10 stations that have 1,000 listeners or less, you just touch what? 10,000
people. Yeah, exactly.
Right? And if you duplicate it again, now you got 20,000 people. So, if I'm looking for a radio station, I'm not even going to land stations. Right? Because I think people don't understand the politics of land stations because, if you say it's no payola, but you have independent radio promoters, you have to go, because I used to be on radio, and the game is just a little different. I think people don't understand. You go to an independent radio promoter, you have to drop them a case of money, right? But you got to keep doing it all across. And if you're trying to do a radio campaign, like you can literally go broke. You can be if you got $1 million to your name, you can literally do a radio campaign and not have no money, and really only touch maybe 30 stations.
Exactly. Exactly.
But anyway,
and that's a big point. And another point is that a lot of these major terrestrial stations don't have room for an unknown independent artist.
Exactly.
Right? One of the points that the panelists made at that conference was that, radio has a lot of competition, like you said, with social media, YouTube, all these streaming, services, satellite radio, all this, internet radio, all this different. There's a lot of noise out there, so there's a lot of competition. When do people listen to terrestrial radio? Normally, when they're in their car going to work or coming home from work. So it's drive time, right? Rush hour. So you've got a short amount of time. You want for people to hear your song, you're gonna want it there, right?
Right.
Well, what's happening at that time? You've got your radio announcers, they're bantering back and forth and doing comedy routines and all kinds of stuff. You've got news, you've got weather, you've got, whatever other stuff is going on. And then when it's actually come time to play the music, what kind of music do they want to be played, right?
The hits.
They want to play the hits, right?
Right.
People we already know, songs we already know. So where is their room for an unknown indie artist?
Hey, if you just coming in on this is the music industry makeover, want to welcome you. If you like to comment, you have to comment through my page only. All right, so because we want your questions and comments as well. I want to say hey to Jim from Christ-like Radio. How you doing? Hey, what's up, Corey Bennett? Thanks so much for tuning in. DJ Smoking Roberts, Keith Roberts. He said hey Coco, hey Rico, and things. And and Eddie Jackson, DJ Mr. E down in Miami. So thanks so much for tuning in, and Vincent, you as well. Thank you so much. All right, but Simone brings up a good point. Yeah, where do they really have time to play your music or so? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I didn't mention the commercials.
Oh yeah, well, hey,
that's a lot of time too.
About 10 commercials.
Every
Right?
time I probably am in the car, going in and out the car at least 6 to 10 times a day, and every time I get in, I promise you, sometimes the same exact song is on.
Exactly.
And when I got out, is on when I get back in.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Children are complaining about the song.
Because and let's talk about why. Tell them why, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's because the radio,
the same song, same people over and over.
Because the labels pay money for those spins. And when you dropping money, when labels got that big money, they drop money on the table. They say, I need you to play the song 35 times. Guess what that station gonna do?
They're gonna play that song 35 times. That's where their bread and butter's coming from. That's a marriage right there. You can't break up the marriage.
And you can't. I've had the opportunity to speak with the terrestrial station owners or the local station owners here in Durham or Raleigh, and quite frankly, they want to be able to change the music. But they can't change the music. They're locked into the charts, they're locked into the numbers, and they're locked into the marked-in dollars. So at that point, it's like their hands are really tied. It's not that they don't so much want to help; they can't help.
I remember when I first got on radio, before everything became computerized, right? And you had your power songs like Simone was talking about, but you had your desk of music that you could play. If you met an artist at a show, you could literally take their CD and you could kind of work them in. Either if their song is one of the formats at the top of the hour, just depending on the type of song they had. But then when everything got computerized, like you come in and you set your computer for the shift, or before you come in for your shift, the computer's already set up.
Right.
I know when I had to do my station IDs, I had station IDs on cartridges. I had to drop them. At a certain time and hit a button.
Right.
But now everything is already, programmed in, and so it makes it harder for that DJ that's on a branded, a terrestrial station to plop in new music. Because then you got to meet these specs. It's just a lot harder.
Hey, now I want to go. Vincent says yes. Commercials pay bills. That's what mainly radio stations do. They basically sell advertisement or so. But I like what Eddie says too, to where very seldom people listening to AM or FM stations. He says I get in my car and my car connects to Bluetooth on my phone and I'm playing Spotify or Amazon Music. So again,
all day.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? Look at the trend and things. So
I'm playing YouTube videos. Even playing YouTube videos.
Right.
Yep.
Audio system. So.
Right. Hey, we're talking about redefining success. And again, this is the music industry makeover. And so we're here to help independent artists out there, gospel independent artists, to understand the process through marketing. And also, again, if you need management and things like that, hey, we that's important as well. Okay. Matter of fact, I want to switch gears when it comes to management, Coco. when should a artist actually seek out management for themselves?
I'm glad you asked.
That is a good question.
Yeah.
A artist should seek out management when one, you have material for your manager to work with.
Mm.
Please, please, please already have a song, at least one song. It only takes one song to really get started, but at least a song, and not just any song, but the best of what you have compiled. Make sure that it is um, ready,
Mm.
ready for radio or ready for any kind of distribution. That way, your manager can help to market or use their connections to help you or help you build your following and so forth. So that's important. I've met so many different people and they're outstanding because a lot of these folks I've met at other events. I've seen them perform and or do their ministry. And when they do it, you're like, wow, this is excellent. I want to book them more. I want to see them again. But sometimes they don't have any product at all. They don't have any product. They don't have any marketing material, no nothing. So that's where we come in at, in that regard. But at the same time, it really, really helps because if you're a manager and you start managing this person, and things don't start moving very, very quickly, then they start to question your management skills when in fact they gave you nothing to work with.
Okay, now, hey, I want to welcome Jim with Christ-like Radio. All right, awesome radio station out there in Arizona. He has a question. What about if you're under a label? Do you still need a manager?
Yes, yes, you do. You still need a manager. And what the manager does generally is work with the label as well and assist in being a liaison and transitioning things on your behalf. So yes.
And I want to say, add 2 points to Coco, what she said. One is you do want to have a manager because you don't want to have a conflict of interest. If you're on a label, you're on a contract with a label. We're not saying that you're on mom and pops, but if you're on a real label, then the object of a contract, there's a winner and a loser in the contract. So you have to have a manager that's on your side. Your manager is your go-between. That's the person that you trust to handle your business for you, right? So you do need a manager. The second thing is you really don't need a manager. And I say Coco is right, but then I'm gonna go to crank it up to another notch to say you don't need a manager until you got some business to manage.
Thank you.
Right? Because people.
You need a fan base.
You got to do some work. This is a different day. The day that a record label comes to your kitchen table and you sing an acapella and they sing to a deal is over with. That deal, that's over. Like even if you're an independent label and you're trying to get artists and and obviously if you got a label, you're trying to create a profit, right? It's a profit game. And there's nothing wrong with profit, right?
Right, nothing wrong with profit.
So if you're gonna search for an artist, if you're a label, you only want to search for artists that already have something going. Now, depending on your cash flow as a label, right? Depending on your finances, that matters. You want to be able to get an artist that already has shows, right? They already have multiple albums out already. They already, have videos. Because a part of that is going to be, if I'm your manager, it's not, the manager percentages are totally different, right?
Oh,
right.
It's not what they were in the past because managers now on the independent and the DIY side, like we do a lot more stuff.
Hey,
right?
Answer Eddie's question. Define manager. Are they a booking manager or are they a personal manager?
Well, at first you may need that one manager may be both. It just depends.
And generally, Rico starting out, that's the case. You end up being a personal manager, one, because they need the guidance, and then the business manager on the other side, because there's an aspect there. And in some cases, if they're making any travel or going places, you may end up doing some of that as well. So that's a good point.
Babysitter.
Yeah.
I heard that too.
Wow. Well, and really, again, some folks feel like they are successful once they've gotten that manager because of the look of having a manager.
That's another mark of success too that artists have.
Right.
But I like to say it this way: your manager is the COO, you are the CEO.
Right.
You're the one who defines the vision,
Okay.
and the
Right.
manager helps you make it happen.
Amen. Well said. Exactly.
Very
You know,
well said.
so that means you have to know what you want as an artist. What are your goals as an artist? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to be just local, national, international, or are you just want to be just a good praise and worship leader at your church or so? You know, I mean, again, it all falls down on you. This is the Music Industry Makeover, and again, we do this every Thursday night at 9 p.m. And so tell your friends. We want to welcome you if this is your first time, and we encourage your questions. If you want to comment, I'll post them up there like I did with Eddie's here, but you have to comment through my profile. So go to my page. I'm sure you saw some of the folks share it, but you have to go to my actual page so that I can see your comment and I can post it up there. All right. So again, we're redefining success. That is the topic. Okay. What is success for you as an artist or so? And yes, hey, Donna, how you doing? She's the mother of Bria Miles, and they are having their conference. They're part of our Arvetta Jones Conference, North Carolina Gospel Announcers Guild, happening June 12th to the 14th down there in Charlotte, North Carolina. All right, and that's going to be an awesome time. And yes, you all want to make sure you all go down there. But again, we're talking about redefining success, and then of course, artists wanting to have their songs heard on the radio. Now, you've got your song heard on the radio. Now what? What's the next step? I mean, because really, radio is easy these days, basically get on radio. But again, all right.
So what's the next step?
Radio.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So you have your song playing on radio, but guess what? Do the people that's hearing your song, do you have music distributed? Do you have it somewhere that they can go and pick it up?
Right.
See, the biggest problem I have the artists, they get shows. If you don't have music ready somewhere where because people are impulsive.
Oh,
right.
If you do a great set, right? They are in that moment.
You gotta get them when they're emotionally ready.
You gotta be ready to do that transaction, and that transaction is you doing a 5 second or 6 second elevator spiel between your set. Go here and pick up this record, or go to the table out here. I got some CDs ready.
Yeah.
Because your show is your tool to collect money from your fans for your music. And so there's no point in doing no shows if you don't have no music ready. There's no point in doing radio if you don't have music somewhere distributed where people can go and pick it up. It's pointless. Amen.
Well said, Rico. Exactly.
Some people not gonna like that, but you said it exactly right.
Right. Amen. Hey, Jim brought up a good question. Hey, Donna said promote. Exactly. It says, again, artists, do you even know that your music is being played? I mean, do you even listen?
That's true. I mean, I remember when the Radio 1 station started in DC, it was just a playlist. There were no radio announcers. It was just, hey, throw this song out there. And nobody, I mean, besides the really popular songs, nobody knew what the songs were.
Right.
So, I mean, that's what happens on a lot of stations. It's really a playlist of songs, and, nobody knows who that is, what's being played. I like to use Shazam. So if your music is out there in the databases,
right,
then, you'll show up. But if not, well.
And see, that's why it's important to have a DJ pushing your music so that they can put an emphasis on it. You know what I'm saying? Other than just putting it through a playlist, and it's like, okay, oh man, who is that? Unless they have Shazam or so app. All right.
Right. Once the song is over, out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. That's why you got to promote. All right. You got to get out there, market and promote. Vincent says, break away from church-only venues, diverse. Well, that's a good question. Well, that is a good statement. But the fact is, there's not that many venues out there, unless for us,
Hey, let me jump on that.
Go ahead, jump on that. Jump on that.
Let me say this. Let me like hear me closely, right? And I know a lot of things that I say because I have a billion things on my mind. I just want to give it to you.
Go ahead.
We are part of the church,
Yes,
right?
we are.
Yeah.
We are the kingdom. I'm not
Right.
saying that other outside venues are not important, but we need to maximize every opportunity in the church. You should do church venues.
Yeah.
Because the church people, if they love what you're doing and you sincere and you genuine, you real, man, they'll support you. You know what I'm saying? Because how you think Lecrae was packing out churches before he
Right.
blew up,
Yep.
right? So he showed you the model, you know. And this is not a Lecrae session. I'm just saying there was a lot of good in that because he showed you that the church would support you. You know what I mean? So I don't think we should get away from the church. I think you should get away. I think we should, if you're trying to take your ministry and be successful, you have to kind of use wisdom, right? And when I say use wisdom, you know, you want to, if you are out doing shows and you are getting some money, or that's why we go back to say, hey, if you have an occupation, you may want you want to buy your own sound system, right? You want to buy your own sound system you can travel with. If you you can take $5,000 and put together a system that'll knock anybody walls down in a nice sized church. $5,000 ain't a lot of money, right? Because a lot of churches don't have money. A lot of times their systems are not great.
Right.
But you bringing that system, you can bring some quality to that church. And guess what? A pastor always have 4 or 5 friends. Because most pastors, they got friends. It's just what it is. They run in a group. So I don't think. You know, so yeah, I know you. He said mix it up.
Yeah.
You know, but I just too want to be clear. Don't run away from the church. I think that's the problem now. We're trying to do everything away from the church. You know, because we don't want this taboo or this stigma of church. But we are you gospel artists. Like that's your forte. The church is your forte.
Yeah.
I want to make a point to that too, because I think there's a lot of this. There's a lot of people saying, you know, get out of the church, get out of the 4 walls. You know, don't stay in the church all the time. I feel like some of us are called to minister to the saints in the church, and some of us are called to go out, seek and save the lost that's outside of the church. We need both.
Right.
We definitely need both. And some of y'all who are trying to go outside the church and minister to people outside the church should not be doing it because you can't handle it. When Jesus ministered to the prostitutes and the drunkards and all the sinners out there, when that interaction was over, they were changed. Jesus was the same. That's what we need ministers of the gospel to do. When they go outside the church and they go minister to the lost, they need to come away with still having their convictions and their morals and everything else intact. If you are a recovering alcoholic, maybe you shouldn't be ministering in a bar.
In the club.
You know, we need to be strategic and be wise.
Well,
like you said, be wise about it.
Now, see, the problem is that, okay, reason why a lot of them want to go outside of the church because they want to get paid. But the reality is here, if they don't like Jesus anyways, what makes you think that they're gonna pay you for you to sing to them? You know what I'm saying?
They don't want to hear it, Ron. I'm here to tell you, they don't want to hear it. And I can tell you a story. I won't tell it online, but I can.
Hey, well, you know what? Hey, we like to keep it real here because, again, a lot of these artists seem like they have their head in the sand. They're oblivious to what's going on. It's like, again, if the world hates Jesus already, they're not going to pay you $5,000 for you to sing to them about Jesus. You know, the church is your main platform.
And that's why folk end up wandering.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead, Coco.
One of the things that I did want to say was, you know, it is different once you start to mix things up a bit, especially when you're used to church or you're used to being around other Christians and saints and things like that. And it's definitely true. If you're not equipped or handled or you know, spiritually ready to be put in a certain atmosphere, It works on you. It works on your spirit. It works on your mind and everything. It's almost like tormenting because you're in a situation that you're not used to. For instance, you attend. Okay, I'm gonna tell. Okay, so for instance,
Go
I
ahead.
attended a rap concert or what have you, and which is generally not not my area or whatever, because I'm mainly gospel. So I said, well, okay, I'm gonna go and see what it's about, whatever. I went, and by the time I left, I was like, oh no. I mean, you really have to know what's for you and what's not.
Uh-huh.
I
Right.
appreciated the invite. It was all good, but it was not for me, and I'm content with that. It's okay. So you really have to know where you are.
I
What you
want I want to jump in and say something. Like, I think it's very important. Like, if you attend the ministry, right? The ministry that you attend should have a, because we've gotten away to understand purpose and destiny, right? We don't. That's very important. A lot of people are trying to do music as a fad, but we're just saying that if you are called to do music, right? I'm just saying if you are called to do music, the church that you attend, that church should be fulfilling the same purpose that you've been called to do, but on a bigger scale, so that
Right.
you can get up under the wings of that ministry,
Mhm.
up under that
Amen.
leadership. Like,
Amen.
you still need, like, when I went to churches and my pastor say I went to a church and the pastor didn't
Hey, Kevin.
didn't like music, he couldn't do music. Then
See that?
I probably wouldn't really stay. But then when I went to a church and my pastor, he was singing,
Yeah,
he was dancing, doing stuff. He wanted me to create music for him. So it put my gift to work right up
excellent.
in the house. So I'm saying that you should try to join a ministry that can support you. Like, and
Right.
I know somebody chimed in and say, well, hey, some pastors don't know anything about the music, but do you want to get into a church, not just for the music, but you also want to fulfill your purpose? And that means you got to know what your purpose. The big thing I see right now, and people hate when I say it,
Mm-hmm.
everybody not called to do music. That's why that's
It
why it's shabby.
That's so true.
Really true.
A
is.
Just
lot of people
because
out there singing don't need to be singing. Maybe
if
they
you
could be songwriters.
That's right.
when I was playing basketball, I'm short. The coach cut me and took me to the wrestling coach. I manned up, man, and I wrestled because he'd say, look, man, we got too many people too tall in this conference. Man, you every bit of 5'7". These guys almost 7 foot. You can't help us. Some you may not be called to do music. Like, if music is not your passion, if you're not sitting in front of tutorials, I sit in front of tutorials every day. As smart as I am, I feel like my knowledge on a scale of 1 to 10 is a 2. I feel like I'm dumb, right?
Mm.
Because I'm still passionate about learning, right?
Right.
Everybody's not called to do music, right?
Amen.
And I think we have to set a platform for excellent artists. You only can be excellent if you're called to do it. If you're not called to do it, you're not going to be excellent. You're not going to get better. So
Right.
I think you should too get in the church, to where the church can support you, and so that you can kind of grow and develop, and let your pastor guide. Just say, well, hey, I don't think you should go because you know what, man, you just been off marijuana, man, for 6 months.
Right.
I don't think you should go to the gospel to the concert in the park because they smoke a lot of marijuana.
You about to say gospel concert? Yeah. Hey. I want to say hey to Kevin James there that
Hey,
just came
Kevin.
on, everyone.
What's up, Kev?
Everyone that yeah, this is the Music Industry Makeover, and we come on here every Thursday night at 9 p.m. to help give you tips on in the music industry, mainly marketing and promoting tips. And so we thank you for joining us if this is your first time here, and we encourage your questions and comments as well, okay? Because this is all about learning here, okay? And you can do all of this yourself. The information that we give out, you can do this yourself, but you're gonna burn out. All right. So no man is an island, no woman is an island. You need a team of people helping you to be successful, whatever your goal is. And so we have some people that are here that are able to help you with that. Okay. I want to go to this what Eddie Jackson says, and I agree. Artists need to be more diverse in their content in music, make music that crosses over to all audiences still stay true to the Christian beliefs, amen, and values. But when you make Christian music only, you're going to be played at Christian events. Well, again, you know, if you're a Christian artist, a gospel artist, hey, that's pretty much comes with the territory, basically. I mean, it is what it is.
And Christian music isn't limited to Christian events,
right?
Necessarily. You know, I hear gospel music in TV shows and movies and stuff that have nothing to do,
more so now than ever,
with, you know, Christian beliefs. You know, it really is the style of the song, whether it sounds good, whether it fits the situation, or, you know. Yeah, it's not limited. I do agree though that we need to have, like, artists need to be studying the Bible a lot.
Amen.
And writing, just having good writing, good songs, you know, that people can really get into and really sink their teeth into, and just good music, like. Yeah, like every song doesn't have to sound exactly the same. Like, if all your songs on your project sound exactly the same except for the first 2 tracks, I mean, change it up a bit, make it interesting.
I think the reason that when it comes to Christian music, if you're making excellent music, and we're talking about relevant, like how you make relevant music is using up-to-date sounds. Don't be using kick drums and snares, man, from 1970. You know, and then and the wave kit, the skinny, you know, you gotta make your music big, sound big, which is called radio quality music.
Right.
You gotta make music that's sonically correct, you know, so gotta have it mixed properly. And if you're doing an album, every song on your album should sound like a different person made it, right? So it could bring a different personality to each song. And because music still has to have shock value, right?
Yeah.
If your music has shock value,
that's good.
They will play you on other radio stations. Like if you pull up music from a secular, I don't knock secular. When I say I don't knock it, they make their music, right? But there's a level of excellence that they have in their music that we can learn from that, right? So when they put a record on, when you listen to some of the top tier artists, and you listen to their mixing and mastering, you listen to how their music breathes and how the sonic quality of music, it makes you want to listen to it. Every song that you create should have replayability to it.
Amen.
If by the end of that song, nobody don't want to hit replay, your song is
Yeah, that's the problem. If every time I hear the song and I'm skipping,
if the day is over when you do records that have filler songs.
Yes.
Like every song on your album need to be a hot single.
Absolutely.
You don't know who's gonna like your song.
Absolutely.
And so by the end of your song, that's why I told you before, get you a panel. Get you a panel of strangers, offer them some coffee or some whatever, they just want to listen to your music.
People who gonna tell you the truth.
Push them your new music. If they do not want to hit replay on your music, that means your music sucks. I'm just gonna keep it real.
And that's what they used to do back in the day with artist development and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But artists don't want that. Hold on, go back, Coco. What you say? What you say that again? Say that again.
Back in the day. But that was when things were, of course, a bit more successful.
Artist development.
Artist development.
Talk about that for a minute. Talk about artist development. How important it is. Do you feel like artist development is important right now?
I do.
Absolutely.
It is. Yeah, but artists got to think it's important and all to invest and to learn, because again, if you tell an artist what they don't want to hear, then they're gonna think that you're hating on them, and all, which is kind of silly, you know, to take some criticism.
So why or I'm anointed and I don't need to hear what you got to say because I'm gifted and anointed, and that's it. That's all I need.
It's still in the closet.
So why do we need artist development? I don't know. I'm done. Why do we need that?
Well,
because we don't have labels anymore who teach artists and who actually help artists and turn a singer into an artist. Artists are, these artists are out there. They're really calling themselves artists, but they're not really artists. They don't have the branding. They don't have the marketing chops. They don't have, stage presence. They don't have any of that.
Right. There's a difference between a good singer and an artist, or a singer and an artist.
Right.
There's a big major difference. And if you
And
are serious about
imaging,
being
get all of that.
an artist, then again, you will put money behind your brand as an artist.
So what I just heard y'all say is, I think that I just heard y'all say is that when you're an artist and you got to be developed in your branding, you got to be developed on your style and imaging,
Right.
you got to be developed in
Absolutely.
stage
Yes.
presence.
Absolutely.
So that means you got to be in a place that you can learn how to become a professional artist.
And not just learn, actually put it into practice. I've
Right.
met artists who have spent money. They have trained under someone. And then as soon as they were done
They were done.
with that training, they went back on stage and did exactly the same thing that they were doing before they went to that person. And they might as well have just tossed money out the window as they were driving the car, because that's basically what it amounted to.
And so when you get to that point where you learn that artist development, then that's when you actually get that management from people like Coco or so, because she got something to work with. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's about presentation. That's where you get with a promoter. It's like, okay, hey, I like what you got right here. Hey, we can promote this and such and such. Other than that, you're really trying to put the cart before the horse.
And take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, don't rush it.
Don't just slap something on a flyer, or don't just slap something on the CD. Take your time. It'll make all the difference.
Good. Very good. Yeah, because what's the rush? What are you rushing for? You? There's no deadline. You don't have no audience waiting for your music because don't nobody know you in the first place. All right. Again,
Right.
I mean, I ain't trying to be cynical with it, but it's just like, look, it's just trying to be realistic.
It is what it is.
And once you put it out there, it's out there. So, it's too late to kind of wheel it back in,
Yeah.
I want to go back to what Arika, what you were saying about diversity and things like that, even with the sound. You know what? You know who really changed the game back then was Eric B. and Rakim.
Mm-hmm.
That album.
Yeah.
Remember that? They had different styles because, back then I mean, it was different producers on that album.
Mm-hmm.
So, but back then you could tell like, oh yeah, that's an LL joint, or so, or that's a Run DMC joint. Such, because the artist was defined by their music and things.
And as an artist, we're moving into trying to get publishing, right?
Right.
So when because I've seen a lot of people where you go and you take 10,
right, Vincent.
You try to put 10 different producers on a record, it's going to be very hard for 10 producers to get paid from records because just the way things are.
Right.
But you also want to use producers that are gifted. There are a lot of us that know how to make records, that we can do records by ourselves and we can sound like different people on every record. And then, two, it'll help you to find a chemistry, a signature sound, because every producer is not for every artist. You got to find a producer that has your sound.
That's right.
And then if you don't have a sound, that's where that manager comes in at. You got to be able to listen to your manager, right? Like if you're
just make Coco happy.
One thing that kind of burns. Like if somebody invite my manager somewhere, and I tell my artist, man, I don't want you on a stage with an artist that's not good because it brings your brand down. Like you'll never see a pair of Jordans in Kmart. He don't sell Jordans in Kmart. Now what am I saying?
That's against the brand. Absolutely.
I'm not saying you can't go to a church don't have a sound system. That's why you buy your own sound system and bring it. But you also want to be able to minister with reputable artists because then people won't take your ministry for real. And so when your manager say, "Hey, I don't think you need to do this song because this song don't really connect with the other songs you're doing," right? Because some artists just can't pick music, right? Like Nas. Nas can't pick music. All the music he ever picked doesn't sound good. That's why his stuff didn't really do stuff. So when you got a manager, that's why it's important to have a manager that believes in you as an artist. If they believe in you as an artist, they're gonna be all in tune to what you're doing, and man, you gotta listen. Right?
That's it.
You shouldn't have them if you're not gonna listen to your manager, because this is not the day that managers don't go and get you coffee. I don't go and get my artist coffee unless we together and we need to get some coffee. But and I'm talking about IV. IV will call me and we'll chop it up. He'll say, "Man, I got this idea. What you think?" And I'll turn around and expound on that idea. And if I say, "Man, that idea, nah, bro, that's like, man, that's lame, bro," he'll let it go. Right. So listen to your manager if you do get one. If you're not ready to listen, there's no point in having a manager.
Hey, I want to welcome Barbara Kelly from California. Hey, thanks so much for joining us. She's an artist herself and things. Hey, and yes, and she says, although this is geared to the unknown artists, there are well-known artists who recorded songs that they should have kept. Hey, they didn't listen to their manager. Hey,
that's true.
That's true.
That's true.
And if you don't have a manager, you should have. If you're doing a project, you should have an A&R, somebody to A&R your music.
Right.
Somebody who, because what I listen, I learn a lot from the secular executives because they're not all stupid. Like they're not all stupid. Don't understand what works. Right. Like Jermaine Dupri has a no person. Like this dude's job is for everything for him to bring him is for him to challenge it. Right. You gotta have people in your camp that challenge everything that you do to strengthen you to make sure you're putting out excellence. And if you don't want to be challenged, you shouldn't put yes people around you. I'm not a yes person.
Same here.
Amen.
Because you're not going to get good by being around people that's going to say, "Oh, that sounds good."
That's true.
And you know what? That sounds like church folk. So, when you start singing in the church, "Oh, yeah, boy, you sound good. Oh, girl, yeah, you are anointed." Knowing good well, they don't lie to you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. Hey, Kevin James said he got something to say, so you gonna have to type it up, and I'll put it up there. And so this is the music industry makeover, and so where we give information out there to help you independent artists so that you can be successful in whatever your goals for your music. And we have two managers up here, a record producer, a music producer, Rico Gibson. RicoGibson.com. Definitely check them out. And we have the Sapphire Entertainment, right? And management media is Coco Diggs, and awesome woman of God. And these are two key people that are in the industry that have integrity. And so, hey, I thank God for them. And we have SJ Music with you and with Simone Henry and myself, DJ Ronnie Ron of RNS Entertainment. And so, look, we are here to help independent artists. Okay. All right. Let's see. It's more than brand. Kevin says it's hey, thanks, Donna. It's more brand than music in today's industry. Is it? Hey, Shakia, how you doing? Thanks so much for all your questions and comments or so. All right. Hey, now is that a question or
I think that's a statement.
A statement. Okay.
I want to give an example. Can I give an example?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mentioned this before, right? Remember back in the day, Brandy and Monica? Monica, for me, Monica was the better singer, but I liked Brandy because I liked her whole persona, everything that she kind of, put out there. Whereas Monica, for me, was just a good singer.
Gotcha. Okay.
You got to have both. I'm going to go on and say it. You can't
you do have to have both. The music is fundamental.
And I'm going to tell you, it's three things.
Hey, Raymond.
The music, if you want to be successful in music, any level of success, however you decide to define it, it's three things that have to work together. I call this the three-wheel axis to being successful in the music business, right? It doesn't matter. These three have to work together. If you can perfect these three, you're going to be guaranteed success. One is production. You got to have great music, right? Mm-hmm. Two, you have to have marketing. You got to have marketing.
Yep.
You got to. Three, you got to have money.
Yes. How do we leave that out?
Hey,
right? Because we blessed by God.
You cannot be successful in the music business. You cannot be successful if you do not have all three that are equally working together.
Yeah.
I just gave you the game.
And what have y'all heard me say? The music is about R&B, relationships, and budgets. So no matter what genre you go into, all right, you got to have money, production, marketing, and money. Simple as that. And again, all those managers that you all mentioned earlier, Rico and Coco, are they getting paid or what? Or is it just the kindness of their heart?
No.
They're getting paid. And they getting paid.
Everybody got to eat and pay the rent and the mortgage.
And on contract.
And
that contract is something that you really need to understand. Contracts are very important. Like, because contracts explain what everybody that's about to do that's in the room.
Right.
And it stops all arguments.
Yes.
When you put it down on paper, now granted, people can still not honor the contracts and you still show up in court, but you can't. My problem when I came in and started doing business, I was, as a Christian, loved Jesus, but I didn't understand that music is a business. It's 90% business and 10% music.
Right.
And a lot of the problems I had, because once I started doing stuff and I put people on, I open doors and I do stuff. I couldn't. There was no way for me to recoup my money forcefully because I didn't have a contract. And if you, as a manager, if you know one thing that I do, like with my artists, like if my artist is already getting money before he come to me, I'm not gonna take any of that money because that's not. I don't have a right to that because I didn't create that. But if I do create more cash flow for you, this is going to be I'm a percentage, and it's not going to be the standard percentage because I'm creating money for you. Right. But you got to have a contract. So I signed a contract with my artist. He signed it, right? And so I'm saying you got to have business. And if you're not willing, and the contract stops all the bickering. Because when you sign it, now this is the part where people don't like the world. But the world don't get into a problem. Like, you know how like Lil Wayne, he wanted to get off. He didn't want to stay with Birdman. Man, that contract was big. That contract was huge. He can't change that piece of paper.
Right.
People will always change.
That's right.
People will always change when they get something. It's human nature.
Human nature, yep.
It's human nature.
It don't mean that y'all don't love. It's just that, man, when you was broke, you didn't have no reason to change, right?
So what money brings what's really inside of you out, huh?
And now when you got $2 in your pocket, now you're getting 10 or 15 grand a show. Now that evilness about to come out. I don't want to pay for that.
They don't walk up.
I don't want to pay for the sound system. I don't want to pay for the chicken.
I want to pay for nothing.
See, you know what? It's a documentation of your word. And as a Christian, we need to be willing to keep our word. Right?
Man,
and
come on.
I have been in situations where, people promise me this and we promise each other this, that, and the other thing. And as soon as I bring out a contract, I say, okay, here, sign this. Now, all of a sudden, oh, wait, really? Do I have to? Okay, now they ghost. They disappear.
There you go. Exactly.
That's a sign of somebody who was going to break their word. They were planning on breaking their word.
Wow, that's deep right there.
That's good.
Hey, thanks, Vincent, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, man. Hey, man, that was powerful right there. Again, integrity in the industry.
Integrity. Right? Come on now, Christian people.
Because, again, as for me, for those who know, I live by the scripture, Proverbs 22:1. A good name is rather chosen than riches. You know what I'm saying? All right. So, again, there's nothing wrong with contracts, but if you don't honor your contract, or even before you even sign it, as Simone said, if she presents you one and then you back out, it's like, okay, what happened to all that hypeness that you had in the beginning? I thought you wanted to work.
And what I found out, the artists they have this big old, they have big dreams, right? Yeah. They got champagne dreams, and bubblegum money. Right?
There you go.
Right? Yeah. So you got to understand, everybody that you work with want to get paid.
Right.
You want to get paid. Your manager want to get paid. Your producer want to get paid. And it's up to you as an artist to understand that going in when you start doing transactions, because the music is not a free business. Right. If you're doing anything professional, you should already come into it knowing you got to sign a contract. Even when you start getting big shows, if you get onto a concert that has a big ticket, like you got to do a contract in advance, right? And if you don't show up for that contract, they sue you. So if you're gonna be in the music business, you can't be afraid to do contracts. And I think everybody should do contracts if you're doing business, because then it stops the arguments. You know what I mean? So you can't say, man, you knew what this split was when we did this, and then you want to make sure the numbers gel out. And like one of the things that I tell artists, like if you're having a hard time getting your album done or getting music done, break bread with a producer and y'all work together as a team and y'all do everything 50-50. I found it very hard that artists they don't have no money, they ain't bringing nothing to the table but some words, but your words can't become life without music to them. If you got somebody, man, that's willing to work with you, why not y'all go 50-50, right?
Amen.
And then you got somebody that always do music with you, and you doing merchandise and everything. Y'all work together. But that's the thing. You got to come to the table with a business mind.
Hey, I want to say what's up, Kim Pratt. How you doing? Artist out of Detroit. And Raymond Larkin. He and his wife are Real Love Music. Awesome dynamic group. Great friends down in Greensboro, North Carolina. Thank y'all so much for joining us. This is the Music Industry Makeover. We do this every Thursday, myself and Simone Henry, and we help give tips out there to artists, marketing, promotions tips, and just things about the industry that you can do on your own. And but also we encourage you to have a team, okay? Because again, if you do all this on your own, you will burn out. But again, we're handing you the tools from knowledge that we've learned about the industry. And you can go to the conferences, and so you'll hear some of the similar things and things like that. But again, it's up to you to know your goals for your music. So we have a special guest on here, Rico Brown, as well as Miss Coco Diggs.
Rico Gibson.
Why I keep saying Rico Brown, man?
I don't know, man. Brown. Man. You think about some brownies, bro?
hey, man, I love brownies, man. That's my weakness.
That's the problem. You thinking about brownies.
Man, but hey,
somebody get this man some brownies.
Yes, man. Oh my God. Hey, but yeah. So again, this is what we do on Thursday. So join us. Tell a friend. All right, we're gonna be wrapping up real soon, or so. I'm trying to do an hour and a half. Because someone talk about how you establish writer shares, splits, and how you all determine them.
All right. Okay. So when you do writer shares, right? So if you're an artist, there's two things that you should do. One is you should get set up in the guild, whether that's BMI, ASCAP, right? Mm-hmm. You should also get set up as a publisher. It's two totally different things. If you with ASCAP to set up a publishing company, costs $250. With BMI, costs $150. So that you can get writer, so that you can get your writer share and you can get publishing. They're two different things. But also, you want to make sure that when you going, if you're gonna have other artists on the record, because this is what get a lot of people, you should already have a copy of some songwriter split sheets with you, right? And I know people hear that term, but they don't understand a songwriter split sheet, because what happens is, say for instance, you do a song, and you verbally, this artist say, well, hey, I'm going to take 25% of the share. You're going to take 30%. The producer going to take this percent. When you go and you put that song into the guild, right, and those percentages don't match what they're putting in, you're not going to get paid, right? So you got to make sure, because the guild may not call you and they're not going to call you and say, well, hey, you put down, you getting 30, but he done got greedy over here. He done put 40. They're not going to call you and tell you that the percentage don't jive. But so if you do songwriter split sheets, you guys agree. And this is something that I know as Christian artists we don't do. That's why when it comes time to get paid, we don't get paid. If you got a feature and you coming in to feature on a record, you should already have a songwriter split sheet with you. Right? You already agree what the producer's going to get. You already break bread with the producer. If you got two people on the record, you already get them to sign the work they're going to get. You go ahead and do the song. You give a copy of the split sheet to everybody. That's so cool. When they go and record it into because if it's their song, they're going to put it into their guild, but they got to record it with the same percentages that you guys agreed upon for everybody to get paid.
Wow. Well, and see, that's not my forte. That's not my lane. So that's why I'm glad you're here, Rico. So again, and he has years in the industry, guys. He is a record producer, a manager, a producer for music, things like that. So he deals with these things. So, wow, man, awesome.
Good information.
Very good information. Again, this is the music industry makeover, guys. This is what we do. Again, we're here to help, to be a blessing to you all out there so that you can be successful in your musical journey. All right. But again, success, you can't do it alone. All right. Matter of fact, from a spiritual aspect, human beings, we were made to be relational. All right. Nobody was meant to be alone. All right. And that's why God created human beings. And he said, man should not live alone. You know what I'm saying? Or should man be alone? I'm gonna make him a help me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So again, we need one another to be successful, just like we need to depend on Christ to be successful in everything. So just something for y'all to think about. All right. Oh yeah, Shakia. Yeah, she's definitely give us some good information. She says, I've heard a lot of artists say that they paid for the recording sessions, so that grants them room to claim all of the writing and publishing.
Mm-hmm. Had nothing to do with that. That's a lie.
There you go. Wow. Okay. Kim says, depending on artists, it's honestly better to charge appearance fees and get paid back work for hire because of how performance and mechanical royalties are done. All right. Yeah, that's a good. Okay. Where you will pay for a service up front and not initiate a split. Okay. Again, that's not my lane. So Rico.
So a lot of those questions that you asked are just kind of not. They're not complete. So the first thing, let me deal with the first one, is if somebody paid for a record session, so they're entitled. So because that artist paid for a recording session, they're entitled. No. Like, so you wanna have that kind of ironed out before you come. And somebody inviting you to feature on a record, you ain't got nothing to do with the record session. Whoever record that is supposed to pay for the record session. That don't have anything to do with your portion as your writer's share or your publishing. Now I know a lot of these backroom deals, people negotiate all kind of stuff, right? But that's not something that's not standard, right? So the second question was, is there a scenario? Can you throw it back up again? Is there?
Hold on. Yeah. Let me.
I have to scroll back through because there's so many questions out here.
Oh man. I'll find it. I've heard a lot of artists. Depending on what's the man.
You know what?
Okay.
Shakia, come back next Thursday.
Yeah.
And ask your question again.
Yeah, just write it down and come back next Thursday.
Come back next Thursday, write it again, and we'll answer that. Because we've been on for an hour. We're actually over our time now.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're asking some pretty deep questions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to do that. Hey, I want to say hey to Sheila.
Thank you so much for watching.
The Sheila Everett. Hey, thank you so much for coming on. Yes. And please, we want to talk about that next week as well too. All the things that you do as well, and because she's an artist and she sent me music from back in the day too. So, all right. Well, again, hey, we're gonna start with Coco. Go ahead and give your information, how people can get in contact with you and things.
You can definitely follow me on Instagram at Media Coco. That's Media Coco. And I'm on Instagram and Twitter as well. FIEM.com is my website. And the Industry Highlighter is the name of my magazine. So if you're definitely looking to find out more about the industry, check out the Industry Highlighter. I'm online. You can Google me.
Okay. All right. Here's somebody in the background.
That's not me. Oh, my.
All right. Must be Rico. Hey, go ahead, Rico.
No, that's you, man, looking for the brownies, searching for those brownies. So you can go to my website at www.ricogibson.com. That's www.ricogibson.com. I'm also on Instagram as Rico Gibson 88, and I'm on Twitter as The Real Emperor. TheRealEmperor, or I'm on Facebook as well. You can just drop me a line, ask me questions, I'll be glad to answer for you.
Awesome, awesome. Okay. And yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Simone.
I'm Simone Henry, Esche Music, ECHE Music.com. I focus mainly on branding, fan base building, and making money with your music. And I've partnered with Ron, and together we have a package that we offer artists where we help you to put yourself out there, to market and promote yourself. So that's what we do. Get in touch with us, and we would be happy to help you.
Awesome. Exactly. And then
This is past somebody's bedtime.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah. And so we and again, everybody knows who I am and things, but you can find me straightministryheat.com, or I am the program director for 247praiseradio.com, and you could just Google at Ronnie Ron 2K. All right. And go join the page, Hip Hop Praise Show. And also want to send shout outs to again Jim Connor for Christ-like Radio. So make sure you go and check his station out and things. And yes, Mary Coco is on Facebook. She's one of my friends. So yes, Carol Coco Diggs. Hey, you all want to get yes, hit her up and things. And again, the sky's the limit, guys. You all be blessed out there, and make sure you say a prayer for all the soldiers out there too. All right, this Memorial Day weekend. Okay, so even though you're gonna eat your barbecue that Monday or whatever, hey, let's remember our soldiers out there. Okay, and thank you to all the soldiers who are serving in the military. All right, y'all. Well, God bless you all. You all be blessed. We'll see you next week. Tell a friend. Okay, it's the Music Industry Makeover right here on Facebook.